Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN, one-click protection for all your devices. Securing yourself could not be easier. Visit expressvpn.com/funhouse.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Funhaus podcast.
Switch to Armando. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
Welcome to the Funhaus podcast, the official home of your sore throat. I'm Armando Torres.
I'm going to get my water. I'll be right back.
Just let him go. He's going to cough for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, God. Well,
there he goes. No shoes on.
He's really going.
yeah. Well, shit. We're down to the final three. Hey,
That's great.
everybody. This episode of Funhaus podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, don't let hackers steal your financial data.
Oh, look at that. Love it.
Look at that. It's hiding me and my identity.
Nailed it.
Don't let
I
hackers
can't
steal your
identify
financial
it.
details. Secure your data at expressvpn.com/rttv. Hello, I'm Armando Torres, and joining me today, we have Jacob My Throat Hurts Fullerton.
Oh,
Got him.
he's having a lot of trouble today.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN.
No.
buddy.
His
Pal.
camera's all whacked up.
I'm
his
falling
camera
apart.
flashing.
When-
Apart.
When Jacob walked away, it glitched for a second on the empty frame, so it looked like someone tapped into our security feed and inserted a blank hallway, like sort of deal.
Not a
Like
chance.
someone came to steal away Jacob's Gundam collection.
Like, hey, I love your Gundams, Wildcat.
It's
Like,
precious.
Wait a minute. How do they know?
Right.
Don't let hackers steal your Jacob details. Secure your Jacob Fullertons with ExpressVPN.
Security guards kicked up his feet on the desk, doesn't see a damn thing. It's the perfect crime.
Nobody wants
I'm
to steal
also
these.
joined by Charlotte McGrath, who's also trying to take a drink secretly.
It's not a secret drink.
It's not a secret.
This is a flagrantly obvious drink. I'm having an iced coffee. I got a special blend bean that is jam and toffee flavored.
Wow. Look at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
People worried
Jam
about
with
GMOs, but then we're doing that with beans.
You leave beans out of this.
And a man who apparently doesn't need a beverage, James Willems.
No, I need sleeves. I honestly made a decision this week on Monday morning. I was like, don't care.
About anything?
I said, I don't care. And so
About
that was just going to be like one of my thought process that persists through the week. And I knew that we were doing the podcast today. And I was like, but I don't have any sleeves on. And Elise said, well, are you going to change shirts? And I went, no.
But don't.
No, I don't think so.
James,
Not
but
that I don't care about this
what?
podcast, but that I don't care that I'm not wearing sleeves on the podcast.
James,
right?
you're
Well,
the only
that's-
person that should be allowed to not wear sleeves on the channel.
Yeah.
And yet,
Uh-uh.
time and time again, the rest of us spit in the face of logic with our little noodle arms and tiny shoulders.
And James, you're a very even tan on your arms. I'm sure you
Do
spend a
I?
lot of
Is
time
it?
outdoors and stuff. Yeah. I
Well,
think-
he doesn't actually care, Jacob.
Let me-
so
let
your
me offer a
compliment's
little-
falling on deaf ears.
Sure.
Let me offer
If
a
you
little
say
bit of
so.
perspective, because if I were to wear no sleeves, people would think I'm wearing a white T-shirt underneath.
It does get brighter. I can't tell if that's the sun. No, I see the line.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, you're this side.
I definitely see
You can
the
see it
line.
on this side a little better. Oh no!
Charlotte has an
somebody
even
cooked this.
complexion, I would say.
Yeah.
Thank
It's-
you.
Mondo, what about your complexion? What's
I
yours?
mean,
Expose your skin, Mondo.
it's just very brown and hairy and covered in ink. That's the secret to not having a bad tan, is to just cover yourself in ink.
You're like a
Yeah.
baby hairy
To the-
squid.
to the dismay of every grandmother you've ever had.
Because tattoos hold up well under a lot of sun.
That's what I've heard.
I
yeah.
like them.
Or in general. I definitely don't have a single piece of art on my body that I now regret having.
I have
Oh, good.
I have a
No.
lot of tattoos that I regret, James. I've got one that said Brittany's dad is in the right, which honestly, really regretting that one now.
That is a weird. What was going on in your life that you said this is the tattoo I want?
I knew a lot of Britneys, and their fathers had a lot of good things going for them.
Oh, you should amend it to say, I hope Brittany's father is in the right place, and then in parentheses, jail.
Jail.
Yeah, you can amend it. You can amend your tattoo.
Yeah. I have a big one on my back that says "fuck Funhaus," which has been a really, oof, boy. You know, everyone's got
But
a.
you,
I have-
but you got that last week, so
I have one on my back that says "Fun Fuck House."
Whoa. Okay,
It's right on my lower back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Mine was actually a cover up because before that it just said "fuck house." I really hate Hugh Laurie.
There's a new show on Netflix. So I'm gonna commandeer this a little bit real quick. So before we started, Armando, you were like, "Hey, what's going on in your lives?" And I said nothing. I said nothing with like a little chuckle afterwards, but then also like we all kind of like hung in the silence for a while, and like some of you were thinking, should we like message him off list and see if he's okay? Yeah. But that's not true. I realized that I logged into Netflix and there was a new show that it recommended, and I just clicked on it, which doesn't really happen that often. But it was called Tattoo Redo, and I had to fold some clothes, so I said, why not put this on? Mm-hmm. And I mean, the premise is pretty obvious, but basically someone has a terrible tattoo and they come in with a partner or a loved one or a close friend, and they basically like explain the origin of the terrible tattoo, and then they have a tattoo artist that fixes it for them. The only catch is that it's fixed. The new tattoo is conceived and basically designed by the person who came with them.
Sure.
Which neither of them realize until you're in the midst of it.
Yeah.
So, if you have this stupid rose on the back of is this an example from it? So basically, like someone
Why would you cover that up?
I was gonna say, which order is this? Which way did they go at this? But say theoretically you have an awesome dragon on your arm, and then you go in with a friend,
and because you've rededicated yourself to Christ.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, is the dragon doing like Armando's thing?
Let me just think. when he puts up the blood sign.
Yeah.
You mean this thing that I always do?
Yeah, you always flash gang signs. Yeah,
there it is.
Is that the dragon?
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'll say this much: I can do it. I will not.
Why not?
Okay.
Well, I just
Yeah.
I'm a crip.
I do love when people have to like cover up tattoos, especially big ones, because it's like the only way to logically do this is to have an even bigger tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody who's tried to cover up and it doesn't work, and so their last case resort is just to black box it?
Yeah.
Where they just have a giant black square on their body.
Yeah.
That's
a black square
funny.
can be a blank canvus.
Yeah.
They can make it into a little picture.
Well, to me, it's real
Sorry.
life censorship. Sorry, Charlotte, go for it.
No, you're good. Just this time delay. It's a killer. No, I was gonna say that it's funny going into a tattoo shop for like, I just want to get like a little sentence that's really meaningful to me, and then the wall art is like a dinosaur with tits and a bow and arrow, and it's like against flame, and it's like the size of a volleyball on someone's thigh, and it's like, okay.
I'll look at that
cool.
instead.
Yeah. It's like people are always like, look at your tattoo artist's Instagram if you want to like shop around, and like you're like, okay, I'll go, and then it's a full back piece of like a demon with an axe that's cleaving off like a shark's head, and you're like, okay, I wanted a triangle.
Have I ever told you the tattoo that I want to get? My favorite tattoo, my dream tattoo.
So you, real quick, you don't have any tattoos, right?
I have a tattoo of my belly button, but it looks exactly like my belly button on my belly button. So you'll never know. No, I don't have any tattoos, but I have a dream tattoo that I want to get. And you know the movie Red Dragon starring Ray Fiennes?
Yeah.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Like a Hannibal type joint, right?
It's a pre-Hannibal, the first. You may know it as Manhunter. But no. So he has the red dragon tattoo on his back. Mm-hmm. I want to get a tattoo of Ray Fiennes' back with the red dragon tattoo on his back.
Yeah.
So it would be just within the framing of my back. You would see Ray Fiennes' shoulders and his upper neck, his like middle neck, and then it would have the tattoo of the red dragon on it.
Can I give you one piece of suggestion? I would say
you can, but you should know it's already stenciled on my back as you speak. So just keep that in mind.
What I would do is I would get a tattoo of just Ray Fiennes contorted into the same design that the red dragon is.
Oh my god!
Okay, all right, okay.
It's the blood symbol still.
It's still the blood symbol.
And then you cover that up with the picture of Ben Affleck with his back tattoo, which I have to invoke every time back tattoos are mentioned. He's got an insanely large phoenix multicolored
Mhm.
phoenix across his entire back.
Oh man.
And it's so funny that this is Ben Affleck, and this is on his back in every
Yeah.
picture you see of him picking up Dunkin' Donuts that are falling out of his arms.
That-
But surely he
that-
has any number of assistants to grab for him.
That's the difference. That's the difference too, is because in terms of fame and power, I just decide, you know what? I'm not going to wear sleeves on a podcast. But Ben Affleck, proportionately, when he decides he doesn't care and doesn't give a fuck, gets that on his back.
Yeah, Cody, I sent you a picture of Ben Affleck's back tattoo, back two, if you will, because I have never seen it before, and I really, really needed to see this.
Wait, what's this?
Oh my god.
There
who's-
we
It
go.
dwarfs his little shorts.
Who's the other picture?
What
Oh,
was
is that the Red
that's where he
Dragon?
finds- Don't show that his butt's in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I like that the tailbone is tattooed on one cheek.
Yeah.
That's the tattoo
Oh,
I
hello.
want. I want him looking back.
Man,
Look
he
at that
he
guy.
looks better than he used to. Age has
Yeah.
treated him well.
Yeah.
I
Now he looks like Voldemort.
Jacob, do you have any tattoos?
No, I am a blank canvas as well.
Oh yeah. You
I've always joked about shaving my head and doing the entire Attack of the Clones opening crawl on my scalp and then letting my hair
Wow.
grow back.
I was gonna say
Avatar.
that Tattoo Redo sounds like a bounty hunter in the prequels.
Oh yeah, you got Dengar, you got Boba Fett, you got Boss, got Tattoo Redo.
Tattoo Redo is the guy who taught
He's a
Greedo.
droid. He's a droid. Yeah.
Ah. Yeah.
Sounds vaguely South Asian. You're like, why?
Ooh, George. Oh, George, what are you doing? You can't do that anymore, George.
I'm sure he'll handle this with poise and respect. Oh no!
And people love it, and we love it.
Yeah, I don't. The bad tattoos run in my family. My mom's even got some tattoos she regrets. My dad has a bunch of them that he regrets. He's got.
That's genetic.
My dad has a cross on his forehead. Or not
On his
forehead, not on his
forehead?
forehead, on the top of his head. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
On the top of his skull, he has a cross tattoo, presumably because that is a place where only God can see it. Although I can see it because he's significantly shorter than me, and
And his hair is thinning.
he's one of those people that's bald by choice. A great hairline, very thick hair, and then was just like, "This is my life. I'm gonna shave it all up." He also has the name of an ex tattooed on his neck. He has Linda tattooed on his neck. His wife's name is not Linda, and it's my favorite because he tries to lie. He's like, Linda is Spanish for beautiful. That's what he says.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Linda.
good excuse.
That's
good,
not
yeah.
bad. What
It's not.
what would you guys tattoo on the bottoms of your feet so the devil could see it?
Wiki feet.
Mm.
Wiki feet.
This one, on one foot it would say this one's for, and the other foot would say Twitter. Okay.
Oh, what would I put down there?
Well, this has been a really fun conversation. I feel like Funhaus should all go out and get tattooed together.
We've all
Yeah, like
a
Lord of the Rings
bunch
cast.
of us
Can
have
we
been
get-
talking about it.
Can we
Yeah.
get roughneck tattoos like from Starship Troopers when they all go and get their roughnecks?
Hell yeah. I've been
Right?
honestly,
No?
I've been thinking about getting Linda tattooed on the side of my neck.
Oh,
Mhm.
that means beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, in English it means I don't think ahead. So, we've got some fun stories this week. My first and favorite collection of stories is because it has been a big week for controllers with two very strange news stories coming out in the past few days. The first was a promotional event planned for McDonald's 50th anniversary in Australia. The business, which is in Australia just called Macca's.
Macca's.
Yeah,
Macca's. Macca's. I'm Macca's about McDonald's. Not McDonald's.
Yeah.
Charlotte, never been, huh? Never met an Australian in your life.
I remember when I asked Alana where in Australia she was from, and she said where, and I went, yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
And
Cody,
she said,
jumping-
you don't really know where that is, do you?
Ooh.
Cody jumping the gun a little bit. Macca's announced plans to host Stream Week, where 50 lucky viewers could win prizes by tuning into some popular Australian Twitch streams. But the prize with the most buzz around it was a DualSense PS5 controller with a custom McDonald's skin.
Oh, good
Holy
gravy.
cow.
This is kind of
Whoa,
hot,
boy.
actually.
That's beautiful. Has Elise seen this? I feel like
Yeah, I feel like
It's
it's
a good
right up her
conversation
alley.
piece when somebody comes to your
There you
house.
go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
I won this from a Macca's on Stream Week.
I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
do.
really
I will say
good.
this artistically. I do like the heavy stroke between it. Like the art style that they chose for a controller wrap is pretty good. It is still weird because it's like that's the last thing you want while you realize you've been playing video games for 14 hours. Like, like looking down at your hands and literally like.
Yeah. It is the
Yeah.
perfect controller to get grease all over, though.
Yeah, a nice white controller, nice white dual sets. I wouldn't have put a Big Mac on it. I probably would have put a quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh,
okay.
you know what they call a quarter pounder and cheese in Australia?
Tattoo redo, right?
And that's the podcast.
Thanks everybody. Short show this week. Thanks for having us.
Unfortunately, though, it looks like McDonald's forgot to get any, if at all, any permission from Sony to make this, and Sony
shit.
was very, very, very upset, and so Macca's Stream Week has been put on an indefinite delay.
Oh,
I
no.
ask you not to
Sony's
do
problem?
that, Mekas. I ask you not to put that on there, Mekas. I'm Sony AU.
It's me, the president of
It's me.
Saudi.
It's me, the president of
Sony?
Sony.
You think that's a controller? This is a controller.
It's a controller. We use him as boomerangs.
You're getting a little too New Zealand there.
Yeah,
We use him as beamerings. Right? That's
pretty good.
Beam rings.
I know, Stream Week is dead.
Why? Hold on. So why are they so but you can do anything you want to.
Controlling?
You should be able to do anything you want to with a controller.
That's very good,
McDonald's bought the controllers, and they should be able to do whatever if someone was like, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And then put a custom print or whatever on the shoes, and then give those shoes away as a prize.
James, I would like to remind you, one of the first times I was on the podcast together with, I think we talked about how that one company did it with Lil Nas X, and Nike sued the shit out of them for
So-
doing this very
How'd
thing
that
in
lawsuit
the-
go, though?
Well, it gave us industry, baby. So,
Gotcha.
pretty good for us. But yeah, the difference is, though, that the Nike thing was they were trying to sell the shoes, whereas this was a straight up giveaway. There was other things
Yeah.
too, like hoodies,
Yeah.
clothes, etc. Apparently they also sent the controller out to about, I think it said it was 10 or so Australian streamers. So there are 10 in the world that they do exist.
Oh, damn.
In Australia.
Go on. What language are you speaking?
I think she's speaking alien.
Taturito.
Oh my god, yeah.
I do like the controller though.
I really wish I could get my
it's
hands
so
on it.
weird because I assumed that McDonald's had to just buy these controllers and then have like somebody like commission somebody to put this weird art on them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's so strange because I feel like McDonald's doesn't like get anything out of it other than just like marketing, just promotion stuff.
I mean,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean,
It's very strange.
Even in here, I mean, that's the thing. This is in Australia, which is, this promotion is relatively tame. You got to remember that here in America, we have promotions that actually did go through, like the fucking KFC Crocs that they made. What other weird fucking shit have I done? A lot of it is like PepsiCo too, specifically. They really just balls
Wonderful
to the wall,
company.
don't give a fuck.
I almost bought a pair of shoes the other day that I found
Congrats.
online. Thank you. Someday these bare feet will be covered. And if we're talking about redesigning something to be new and cool, it's basically these Reebok Power Rangers shoes.
Yeah.
And
have
I was
seen
like, ooh, and I mean, it was the choice was made for me because they don't even have it in my size. But yeah, $180 for these shoes. I think this repurposing, this new designing of other things is good. People are constantly tweeting about how much they love their Xbox controller that they got in like blue and red or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
really simple
Yeah, like
3 color
colorware stuff.
combinations, but it's like,
Yeah.
look, this one's Pikachu, and it's like, I suppose so.
These are
As
the
close
Reeboks
as we
almost
could
got.
get.
Yeah, well, that's just one of them. So if you look at
Oh, this looks
both
cool.
shoes, It's the same. It's got the the same assemble design that the Megazord has for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So
okay.
the right shoe has the. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You were gonna say you were gonna mock me.
Who are you talking
Do
to?
it,
I think
Charlotte.
we were all mocking
Do it.
you.
All of you.
I wasn't gonna mock anyone. No.
It looks pretty similar to the McDonald's PS5 controller.
Yeah.
I just say, come on. And these
Somebody
look
was
awesome.
gonna mock me.
Is that? Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that to you, Charlotte. Is it kind of? I feel like for me, it's kind of a relief sometimes when I see something that I want, but like you said, it's not in your size.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's just not meant for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend $180.
I'm really
What
curious to see what kind of things like that Jacob has talked himself out of with clothing, because every time I've ever seen you in person, you are wearing head to toe Destiny merchandise.
Yeah.
To the
Which
point
is just,
where I
it's
don't
just a
think
shirt
you-
and shoes.
No, it's the shirt. It's the shoes. You have the boots, which are, I guess, the shoes. You told me you
Yeah.
had Destiny pants once. You wear a Destiny mask. I'm sure you have like a beanie or a hat of some sort.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
Maybe
No,
a
this is-
couple.
Yeah. Just wait till the winter weather rolls around. I'll start wearing the jackets,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
which
the
will
most
probably be
excited
about
for.
like 1 month of this year. It'll
Yeah.
be cold, and I'll wear some jackets for you.
That's what I tweeted about this the other day. Is when we did that Mario Golf stream, I spent $50 buying those wool pants to play Bowser once, and then there's one day in January where I can wear them in earnest, and no other days.
Yeah.
Moving forward, the second controller-based story we have comes to us from Tennessee. A man was playing video games after dinner when his house was struck by
Great time to
lightning.
play it.
And
Yeah.
somehow
Is this Ryan Haley we're talking about?
sounds a lot
This
like
is an
it.
origin story.
Somehow the lightning traveled through the wiring, through his system, and through the controller, and was
What?
able to shock him.
He must have been playing with it plugged in.
What is he playing? A
Pong.
Nintendo Entertainment System? Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like
paramedics.
an old commercial. Like this would happen. And
Yeah,
you'd be like,
then he's
"Whoa, this is the
inside
coolest game I've ever
Metroid."
played."
Yeah.
There's- where the console was is now a hot chick standing there in like a cutoff shirt.
Whoa.
Holy cow, she's gonna grant you 3
Whoa.
wishes.
No.
What?
Keep going, James. I like this story.
I mean, basically the first wish is to get a blowjob, and then that's basically
yeah.
it. Then the rest of the movie is just you asleep.
Was this man okay when he got struck by the lightning?
Paramedics that arrived on the scene say that he's going to be perfectly fine, but that he might want to consider upgrading to at least a PS3.
Yeah, okay, so we got there. We got to the
Yeah. Sony came
made it.
actually before the paramedics, and they were like, "We really would rather that you didn't have our controller involved in this. It's
You
really
broke
not
your
it."
terms of service.
You entered into an agreement with us, and the fact that you would so just explicitly violate that is honestly
Yeah.
really hurtful.
Wonderful.
Is that your Australian accent again?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're down under.
Why
And
do
you
you sound like
say-
a baby?
And you say that's not a knife, because that's the joke. That's what I'm doing.
That's the what is this, Baby Town? James?
You know, Baby Town started as a penal colony.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
All right, that's it for me.
Oh,
all
well, I'm
Australians
glad the man's
are baby.
okay.
Yeah, he's fine. I read through article after article about this, which, by the way, a majority of the articles are just different news sites and sources from Tennessee. It's a real big story if you're from Tennessee. But I kept trying to figure out which system he was using that would allow this to happen, and every single one purposefully left it out, except for one of them that had a picture that appeared to be a PS2. So it seems like this man on, I think it was Saturday, was still playing a PS2, which honestly,
Great games. Great
Yeah,
console.
and
really
God was like,
respected.
No,
Let's move this along.
hedge my bet and say that it was probably an N64 controller. 'Cause It's got
Wow.
it's got the dingle on it, you know?
yeah,
the
but that's
dingle.
got
Third
so much
prong.
plastic that it could absorb any
Yeah, it's
act of
grounded.
God. It's
Oh, it
it's-
would have just
yeah.
melted.
It's got its own center of gravity. Yeah.
You gotta have the rumble pack plugged in to absorb all the energy.
My childhood home was struck by lightning many times. before we
What?
moved in. Like half of it burnt down. So like
That's-
the guy that lived there just put a fuckload of
Jesus.
lightning rods on top, I guess to divert it from the wood. But that only resulted in more lightning strikes.
Yeah,
So he
very
didn't want
clearly.
the wood to catch on fire, but he wanted the rest of the house.
The man died in that house, but not by lightning.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Heart attack.
Scary.
No
Or
relation
that's
to
what
me,
they'd have
no.
you to believe.
He was covered in lightning rods when they found him.
Just completely singed. Basically, like in the first Batman movie, after the Joker burns the guy to death or whatever. and he's
Yeah,
sitting in
yeah.
his chair completely. It's just heart attack.
Yeah. And the one says to the other paramedics, like, you gotta watch your cholesterol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about how the lead detective was half lightning. All right, so
Yeah. Like for his buddies.
His arch nemesis.
Yeah.
yeah, his cousin was Thor. It was real fucked up.
You can't reform that.
All Thors are bastards. That's crazy. I was under the impression that lightning never strikes twice in the same place. That's
no.
one of those things that I grew up understanding and
Not true at all.
yeah.
Some places I think are more prone.
Yeah, well, yeah, a
definitely.
house covered in lightning rods, definitely.
It wasn't always covered in lightning rods, but anyway, we were told that by our kindly elderly neighbor, Tony Stumpo,
Oh,
Tony
yes.
Stumpo.
Tony Stumpo.
who would give us
Tony
zucchini
Stumpo.
and tomatoes. He would come
It's-
over
it's
with
a ridiculous.
produce.
Again, it's a ridiculous name, but it's actually short for Anthony Stumponi.
Stumpopoulos.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Stumpopoulos. I forgot. He's,
You know, we were the
He's
Stumpopolises
Greek.
before we came to Ellis Island.
Old Tony
And-
Stumpy. You ever
Anthony
met him?
Stumpopoulos.
I love talking to Charlotte about the people back home because every story she tells is accompanied by she was telling me a story once. We were I think we were at a bar or something, and she was telling me a story. She was like, yeah, I ever tell you how my mom works with this guy named Mushy Mike?
No, he's not named Mushy Mike. Then that guy's alive, so I'm not gonna say his exact name.
That's fair.
Rip,
that his-
Rip Tony Stumpo. I guess.
oh no, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Well, they because shortly after Tony told you about what happened at the house, Tony's body was found charred beyond recognition. It was a heart attack, of course.
Oh my god. Big
as
lightning.
determined by the paramedics.
They said
I
it was
love this conspiracy.
they said
Big
it was
lightning strikes again.
he said it was
Twice.
a suicide, but he had 2 lightning strikes in the back of his head. It's crazy.
Yeah, how's that possible?
I also told you, Mondo, about this guy my grandfather knew, Pete the Fish.
Pete the Fish.
What?
Yeah.
God, this is what I'm talking about. Every story that she says is just
But here's
cast
the
by a
thing.
fucking Nickelodeon.
That was it. Well, she just recently finished Sopranos, so are we sure that she isn't just like blending the worlds? Like her reality has now fused with
I mean,
Sopranos.
Having a Northeast, like very Catholic traditional upbringing did lead to some blurring of lines, literally in dreams,
Yeah.
between The Sopranos and my own life. So you have a point, King.
Growing
wanna
up
see-
in New Jersey, Hoboken is wild streets.
I want to see the world through your eyes where you're doing your own voiceover where it's just like, so it was me, Tony Stumpo, and Frank the Fish.
Pete the
Yeah,
Fish.
it's like all right. I'm doing the Funhaus podcast today with James Armando and Timmy Two Bricks. Just as I've always known them.
Hey, and Tattoo Rito was there too.
Tattoo Redo too.
we had Jimmy 2 strikes because he got struck by lightning twice.
Yeah.
It was me, Tony Stumpo, and Jack Lightning. Billy Thunder.
Billy Thunder is very, very good, though. I could see Billy Thunder playing at Coachella whenever we open back up.
Billy Thunder Down Under, right?
When we open back
Oh.
up, they're gonna do that this weekend. What are you talking about when we open back
Yeah.
up?
Oh my
You just gotta
God.
go to a different. You just gotta go to a different county.
Billy,
you
yeah,
guys
Billy
been-
Thunder is currently performing for 1 million people in 1 square mile right now.
Yeah.
And he has got some homophobic things to say.
Yeah. There's a. You can't buy a ticket if you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's that's hold on. I gotta look up this thing just so I get the I gotta make sure that I get everything right, because what Charlotte referenced is certain comments from rapper DaBaby,
Mr. Baby.
Oh no, DaBaby.
DaBaby is one of my favorite rappers, not as a person, but as an interest, if that makes sense. Just the absolute ridiculousness that surrounds this man is so fun to watch, but he's also just consistently a bad person that doubles down on his bullshit.
I know nothing about DaBaby except that they turned him into a car in GTA.
So
What?
What?
Have you seen
Hold
that?
on.
They like turned his head into a
I
car.
haven't heard of this. DaBaby
yeah,
GTA.
car
There's
GTA.
there's
Oh
a
my God! Look at him.
there's a meme where they turn
It's the only thing I know about
they
DaBaby.
turned DaBaby into a car, and it's all over YouTube.
That's so funny.
I know literally nothing about DaBaby.
I think
except
most
this.
people know him as the person who both made Dua Lipa's Levitating much more popular and much worse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, DaBaby is a rapper. He has a bunch of songs. I was gonna name them, but then realized that would be a futile effort. There's no chance that you or Jacob know what they are.
Mm-mm. I mean, you could try me.
It's fine. He did Suge, which is him
Suge, of
comparing
course.
himself to Suge Knight, who is also a famously just terrible human being. And that was like his first lead single. But he's done a lot of really terrible things over the years. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. He first got into trouble because he was in the club and there was a woman that was trying to film him with her camera, and all he saw was a light, and so he punched the shit out of her. And in his words, when he was defending it, is he was saying, I don't care if you're a man, a woman, or whatever, if I see a light, I'ma punch it. And so that was him just like doubling down on the decision.
He's
to
like
punch.
a moth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't he
Very
kill someone?
lizard mean moth.
He was performing. No, he didn't kill her. He was performing.
No, not her.
At a. He was performing at a concert, and on July 25th. And here's a couple choice quotes from his show. He said, quote,
he was involved in a killing, in a shooting at a
"Oh
walk.
yeah, he's a very bad person. I cannot stress this enough." This is a quote from the show. On
Well,
July
I mean,
25th.
he's so young. It's only
He's
it's
DaBaby,
our
yeah.
job. It's our job to raise DaBaby. Okay,
It takes a village. It takes a village.
It takes
Yeah.
the village to raise DaBaby.
There you go.
Here's a quote from his July 25th show. He said on stage in front of thousands of people, he said, if you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly STDs that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks, then put your cell phone light up.
What?
And then they all
First
held
of
up their
all-
cell phones and he
Yeah,
flew
he
into a
beat the
rage.
shit out of the crowd.
There's more. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone light up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone light up. Keep it real.
I mean,
what on earth?
I wish we could have gotten a camera on the audience and all of them be like normally it's like West Coast, put your cell phone, and you immediately go, yeah, it's talking about me. But I feel like every single time there's a clarifier, like I don't know. Is he talking to me? Do I raise my cell phone now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he say
It
my
feels like a
dick smell like
sketch.
water?
Yeah, I feel like it would get increasingly more detailed and lengthy in the descriptions, like people who like to go to the store to pick things up and know exactly where the pickup area is and don't wait in the general line area and clog up the going and toings comes of all the people in the store. Put your phone lights up.
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
What was the second part?
Those of you who like green eggs and ham in a wagon with a mouse on a train in a tree, put those lights up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck with green eggs and ham. But yeah, he made these comments. The internet got really mad because he's obviously spreading a bunch of like just hateful, stupid, dumb shit. But instead of trying to apologize, trying to grow from it, trying to do anything other than just being DaBaby, he doubled down again. And this was his comments that went viral again on social media.
He debubbled the but down. Sorry, go ahead. Comments.
He said, quote, "My gay fans, they take care of themselves. They ain't no nasty gay people. See what I'm saying? They ain't no junkies in the street. What are you talking about?" I said, "If you ain't sucking dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up." You know what my gay fans did? They put their motherfucking light up, because my gay fans ain't going for that. They got class. They ain't sucking no dick in no parking lot.
Okay, now let's
hold on. A lot
unpack
to
this.
unpack.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like solving a mystery.
This is more confusing than when he came for Jojo Siwa.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think you misquoted him. He was saying if your pussy smell like seawater, if your pussy smell like JoJo
I see.
seawater,
okay.
Now I understand.
then it's okay.
Oh, got it. Not a stretch at all.
No, absolutely not. It's a
My gay oh god, please listen. If I know one thing about my gay fans, they are not sucking dick in the parking lot. They got
class.
So
He's saying he's not homophobic. He just hates people with no class. Was basically.
It sounds like his.
okay.
I mean, it sounds like his issue is with parking lots.
Ooh, a new
That's what he was saying.
perspective on DaBaby.
yeah,
right?
they paved
Like, that's the
paradise
only
and they
location.
suck dick.
It's the only location that this behavior is
Well,
considered unacceptable to him, right?
Is he fine with straight dick sucking in the parking lot? Because he made the distinction.
Oh, that's true.
Gay
That's true.
people that are sucking dick. Because like if he walks past and it's like a straight couple, he's probably like, "Hell yeah, I'll see you inside. Get
Hell
that
yeah,
phone
put
light
your
ready."
Put your cell phone lights up.
or he sees
know what?
a headlight and he goes absolutely AWOL on a Lexus.
Yeah, if we should just talk to him and ask, and then we'll know. I'm gonna boot up GTA,
Uh-huh.
and we'll see if we can find him.
Well,
You know how
that's why I brought up that first story, because it almost seems like he should have an aversion to cell phone lights. But now
you think?
He keeps asking for it.
Now at
He
this
said
point,
he's quoted as saying, "If I see a light, I'm gonna punch
if I
it."
see a light, I'm going to punch it. Now he's saying,
Yeah.
which almost makes it worse that he's asking you to put his cell phone light up, almost like he's making a list of some type, DaBabies
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Do you know whether it was before or after the double down that he caught the ire of Sir Elton John's people? Because that's no
I
small
saw,
feat.
yeah. And
It
Madonna.
was
And Madonna.
It was before the apology, because that's the other thing is Sir Elton John. What?
The apology. Or did he
Yeah,
actually
apologize?
apologize?
Yeah, you
He
said
did
it without the
apologize.
quotation marks.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah. It was a very heavy quotes apology. I mean, it wasn't. There was no actual apologizing. It was just him.
They have
doubling
put
down.
out he put out a thing now, like today.
Yeah, he put out a
yesterday.
thing that was very clearly not written by him.
It was written by Matt Damon's people.
DaBaby.
Oh, even better.
DaBaby, who signed this apology as Jonathan Kirk, apologized to the LGBTQ community, saying social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you can even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn
Yeah.
from your mistakes. As a man who has had to make his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly working against me, knowing that I needed what I needed was education on these topics and guidance has been challenging.
And after
Yeah.
speaking
Wow.
with very, very educated community leaders of parking lots, I have come to the conclusion that it is totally okay.
If you're ready to forgive and move on, put your cell phone lights in the air, please.
I'll just real
I will
quick say
punch
this
you.
much to people that are like, well, yeah, actually the people that jump down his throat are the bad people. I'll just say it would be nice to not have to deal with this and have people that don't need to be educated by the people they shit on. Because like I think there's a compulsion to be like, well, I think we were all a little bit harsh on DaBaby. And it's like, well, maybe certain people in society would like to have megastars who don't step on so many rakes that they have to learn and grow. Like when Kevin Hart was doing all that stuff about how he would disown his son if he were gay. And everyone's like, hey, he's learning.
And how do
He's
you feel
like
about parking lots,
45.
Kevin? Yeah.
Well, with that very heartfelt sentiment, and as we all prepare to write our own apology letters to DaBaby personally,
Oh, we're apologizing to DaBaby?
yeah, but you can just
Yeah.
double down on your shit. That's what
Because
counts
we
as an
weren't
apology.
there
Okay,
for
yeah.
him.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
double down.
he's kind of debased himself, but we have to be understanding and give him room.
Yeah.
Let's-
he needs
let's
to
take
hit
a-
to rock bottom.
Take a break to hear a word from our sponsors. Contracts with big wireless providers have taught us to always be looking out for a catch. So when you hear that you can get premium wireless service for only $15 a month, your first reaction might be suspicion. But with Mint Mobile, there really is no catch. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they only sell online, cutting out retail stores and overhead so they can pass those savings on to you. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. And that's not some crappy early 2000s charge by the minute plan either. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data on the nation's largest 5G network. You can keep your phone and your phone number, and if you're not totally satisfied, Mint Mobile even has a 7-day money-back guarantee. As most of you know, John Smith swears by Mint Mobile. He loves the service. He still uses it to this day. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/dude. That's mintmobile.com/dude. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/dude.
When you're in a workout rut and bored with your exercise routine, it gets easy to say, I'll skip this one. That's why Fitbot made a fitness program that continually adapts to how you're progressing so you stay challenged and motivated to achieve your goals. Fitbot creates a program based on your unique body, experience, and environment. And their algorithm uses data and analytics to help you build on your last workout to maximize your results. As someone who goes through their ups and downs with fitness, and let's be honest, this quarantine hasn't been kind to me, programs like Fitbot are the perfect way to get back in shape and also just to live a longer and healthier life. Fitbot workouts are balanced to avoid overworking muscles with varied exercises to keep you sharp because there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all workout. So whether you're exercising 3 days a week or 2 times a day, every workout is scientifically proven to be better than the last. Pick up the pace in your fitness journey with Fitbot today, and your future self will thank you. Get 25% off your membership at fitbod.me/FHpod. That's 25% off at fitbod.me/FHpod.
All right, and we're back with the Funhaus podcast.
They said Italian.
I never thought I would get a chance to talk about DaBaby at work. He's
we got to be careful when we're doing that funny little, adding "duh" in front of stuff. It starts to sound a little bit like tattoo redo, so we got to be careful.
Sorry,
it's what aliens sound like in the universe.
Right.
You don't know. You've never been there.
Yeah, I have friends in the Trade Federation.
George Lucas he's rubbing his temples and he goes, "This alien sounds like he's from Texas."
This strange man, he sounds like he's from China. I want to talk like you're a Chinese
China's
person.
a really big country, George.
Yeah.
Space is
They
really
have one
big
accent.
too.
It lines
That's how people know they're aliens, because they don't sound like they're from here.
Oh, George, welcome. Thanks. We've been trying to get you on the podcast.
George on the show.
really good.
If only Jacob were here.
Thank you. I was busy listening to DaBaby.
I was going to ask
no.
Mr. Lucas your thoughts on DaBaby. Do you know what's happened, or did you just start listening because of what's happened?
No, I was going to ask him to be in one of my new movies.
Oh, wow.
What am I?
American Graffiti 2.
Oh, we're going back.
Yeah. Have you heard of Strange Magic? For real though, like there's a. Did you hear? You know about that movie Strange Magic? It was like one of his only like post Star Wars movies. It was like some animated fantasy thing, and I've only seen the trailer, but it looked like a nightmare.
Yeah, we.
It was.
I on the show that I do. That's a Friends of Rooster Teeth show, the cult podcast. We had to watch American Graffiti because it's based on a real life cult, EST. It's not a good movie, I would say. I did not really enjoy it very much. I don't know. Maybe a hot take. I think George is bad at what he did. I think he had a lot of. I think he had a lot of good people around him for the good ones.
That's the story of Star Wars. Is like that first cut was a nightmare, and then the editors were like, "We can save this. All we need to do is make the sand people go forward and reverse, and then we'll fix it."
It's one of my favorite behind the scenes things is just people watch like the first cut of Phantom Menace, just like their faces in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I may have gone too far.
We
But it
spent
was too
so
late.
long asking if we could. We never wondered if we should.
It's like almost Sean Connery there a
Yoda.
little bit.
Yeah.
We spent so long wandering.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that showing is when George came out and went, "Now, if you guys like Jar Jar, put your cell phone lights up."
Oh no.
It was before the showing, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?
What? Who?
What's a jar? Did he say Jar
Jar
Jar?
Jar? Yeah.
DaBabies?
Cell phone lights.
George Lucas walks out at Lollapalooza. What's up, everybody? All right. Sorry, moving on. We've got another very fun story coming out of British Columbia, Canada, which was just celebrating a holiday called British Columbia Day. They got a long weekend. They got Monday off, and a couple people there partied a little harder than others. Local cops set up a roadblock to catch drunk drivers in the city of Victoria on Sunday night, and boy, did they catch some. So many, in fact, that after only 2 hours, they had to shut the checkpoint down because there weren't enough tow trucks to tow all of the drunk drivers that they had caught.
Oh, damn.
In fact, at a certain point, it seems like they were actively allowing people who were clearly inebriated to go on their way because there was just no way to arrest them or to stop them.
That's the trick. If you're gonna get drunk and then drive, make sure you do it as late as possible, so that way they've already filled up the jails.
Yeah,
And
pick
do it
the
with your friends.
busiest road too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many fun instances where I found a couple different articles, and one of the stories that one of the cops told is that they were actively interrogating somebody that they thought, or maybe not interrogating, but they were questioning somebody that they figured out was inebriated. Somebody else pulled up that was clearly inebriated and tried to get out of it by asking directions. And then all of the cops noticed that a U-Haul truck that was several cars back flipped a U-turn and almost hit 2 other cars and was clearly trying to get away. And the cops just went, "Yeah, we got to pack it up, dude. There's too many
Yeah,
people
we're done.
here. It's over."
How many cops were there? Like 4?
I don't know. That's the other thing. It's Canada, so I have no idea.
Well, they were on horses, number one.
Okay.
So I imagine that in my head. You ever see those videos of like when the road freezes over on a hill?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like cars just spinning slowly, and like one person gets out and they manage to stop it, but then another car goes by. That's what the cops were doing with the drunk drivers, except it was level. It was just a car that's out
It's like
going
spinning
by.
through the
Yeah, like hockey
checkpoint.
pucks.
Yeah, just rotating and spinning and sliding. Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Well, I hope nobody got hurt. Jesus.
I mean, definitely people got hurt.
It's a huge country. There's so much room.
Yeah,
so
it's
much
like
room.
Use
sailing
any
out
of it.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
the other thing
it's like sailing out on the sea. It's like, what are the chances of hitting another boat?
I've played Sea of Thieves
It's just
with
drunk
you. It's
drivers
very
out in the
high.
middle of British Columbia.
Oh my god, I've played Sea of
Man.
Thieves with you. The chance is very high. You run into ghost ships. You run into real ships. We hit 3 ships playing that game for an hour and a half.
Your eyes were closed like for 45 minutes of that time too.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault. They were stuck together with the tears of my post throw up cry.
You get very ill.
I did. I played Sea of Thieves with Jacob, Charlotte. I think Matt was there.
Yeah, Matt was there.
That was it, right? It was just us 4.
It was just us 4, yeah.
Yeah,
And Jack Sparrow, don't forget.
Oh yeah, classic Jack Sparrow. And I got seasick from the game and actually vomited twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
And
Yeah.
a lot of sounds accompanied it between the throwing up. A lot of
Oh yeah.
that.
Well, you came back, insisted that you were fine after throwing up. Because, there's relief when you vomit.
Yeah.
And you came back, you're like, oh man, I'm feeling so good now. And then, like, I think 30 seconds later, you're like,
Yeah,
burping in the microphone.
My favorite thing about vomiting, and maybe the only good thing, is the feeling of invincibility you have for exactly 1.5 minutes after puking your brains out.
Well, throwing up is one of those things where every moment of my being during it happening, I'm like, this is the worst thing that can happen to me in this moment. Like, there's no silver lining. This is awful, and I hate every bit of it. And like when other bad things happen to me, I'm like, hey, that's life. the throwing up is just so bad. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I know that's not.
Yeah, I'm also I'm a
unusual
miserable
thing.
puker as well. Some people do it easy. They just like, bleh, all right. But no, I will be doubled over. I'll be done temporarily.
I used to know somebody that I used to date somebody that claimed that she had never thrown up in her life. Actually, no.
I know someone like that.
It was very
Never
specific.
thrown up like
She said that
ever?
she had thrown up. The last time she threw up was when she was 7 years old, and then she had never thrown up since then. And it was one of those things where when I heard it, I was like, oh, that sounds like a blessing, because I've thrown up a lot. I have a very weak stomach. I'm lactose intolerant. I get seasick and motion sick very easily, even when
Clearly.
playing a fucking video game. I throw up all the time, almost like I want to at a certain point. But she was unable to throw up apparently, and I thought it sounded super awesome, but apparently it's so much worse because whatever you have inside of you just stays inside of you.
Yeah.
Or it comes out as diarrhea.
You have to eject that.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be in you. You got to get it out.
I
I've
actually
always said
haven't
that.
pooped since I was 7.
Wow.
okay.
Just vomit everything.
I went to Seattle last week and just coincidentally just ate so much cheese. And
Coincidentally, like it's an
I mean,
accident.
Wait, yeah, that is a coincidence, isn't it?
I didn't intend to eat so much cheese and drink so much coffee, but like,
Yeah,
I've
wait,
never
immovable object, unstoppable force. What's going on inside you, pal?
it was horrible. Like, I got back on Saturday, and for the past like 2 days, I've just been like, oh god, what is wrong with my insides? I'm dying as we
pumpkin.
speak.
I loved watching your trip to Seattle. At one point, Jacob went to the Space Needle in Seattle and
Like a tourist.
sent me a picture of a giant Lego statue of the Space Needle that just said, "Hey, did you build this?" No contact. I didn't know he was in Seattle. I didn't know where you were in the world. You just sent it to me and said,
Well,
"Hey,
no,
man, you build this?"
It was that's sort of valid because your response was like, maybe. You didn't say no.
I
It
mean,
could have been anywhere.
Yeah, I told you this before, but it's maybe if it had been in like Dubai or something, you know, like I didn't.
Which
I don't know.
again isn't any less absurd.
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like that logically, I feel like that's still in line.
The only
Yeah, I
projects
didn't
I worked
know.
for when I worked there was Legoland Dubai, Legoland Japan, Legoland Korea, which I'm not sure if that one ever opened, and then one thing for Arizona because they had a they had a problem with like I'm not sure. I think I'm allowed to talk about this actually. They had a problem with racist mini-landers because them boys in Denmark don't understand people that what ain'ts like them.
What's a mini lander? Like the little people
Yeah, so
that you make?
for Lego, when you're building stuff, they have minifigures, which are like the things that come with kits, right?
Yeah.
And then we have
Okay.
mini landers, which are a thing that they build for Legoland, where they're like about yay big. I had a few that I stole.
Are they the
Sure, we
racist
can get a
ones?
picture.
Yeah, they're made out of, the thing is they're made out of multiple pieces of Lego. You know, they're like
Oh,
and
okay,
they're,
yeah.
they're to scale for the
Yeah.
cities that they build for the things. The problem is that they were building a few for Arizona that included a part of town that was like a historic Mexican cultural hub, and the mini landers that got sent to the actual work site were a bunch of like Mexican stereotype mini
Oh
figures.
no.
Like there's just people wearing giant sombreros passed out on the
Oh,
street with
okay.
a bottle in their hand, like so much
Wow.
crazy shit. It's my favorite. And so we
When
had
you
to-
said Mexican see, that's interesting because when you said Mexican stereotype, I immediately pictured
hardworking, yeah.
a professor, you know, or
Wow, you really
Say
showed your ass,
entrepreneur.
Mondo.
but so yeah, that's interesting that you said those other things. So interesting.
Well, James, we've talked about this off air. You know how I feel about the Mexican people.
Oh, do I ever? Yeah.
You know how
I had to
Armando
unsubscribe
Julian
from your
Flores-
newsletter.
This seems like a great
Oh, man.
opportunity to talk about some of the hardships the Irish people have endured.
This reminds me. Did you guys hear
know-
about like
You know,
The,
master model builders were slaves too, Charlotte.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Jacob, you were saying something?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a much more wholesome topic. Did you guys hear about like the South Korean broadcast of the Olympics where they were like they had to apologize because of the images they were using to
They
show
were like, here
the
come the
different countries."
Italians, and they showed known for
It's a picture of a
pizza.
pizza.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember some of the other ones. Some of them were like really offensive, or like I think I don't remember if it was like Haiti or something, but it was like people waving the Haitian flag in front of like a burning car behind them and stuff like that. Yeah,
Well,
I think
I
for like
guess
America,
it's like-
it was like
like-
people spending money with a credit card.
It was the visual equivalent of getting a tattoo in a different language and like not understanding like the context of like the kanji or whatever, but it's images. So like there's no one who could have not been able to interpret it.
Any number of
Like,
people
someone-
could have seen it.
Someone was
Yeah.
image blind and they picked out these images. They're like, just shapes. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah. There's
Oh my god.
I'd like to just chalk it up to just a cultural like ignorance, I guess. You know what I mean? Of just like, I don't know. I did a Google search and this is the first thing that I found. But I don't know, man. It's so stupid.
Yeah, man. I wish I could remember what some of the other pictures were.
The known for
'Cause-
pizza one is really that's what
See,
Oh,
when I
shit.
picture an Italian, I picture a college professor.
Oh, here we
really
go.
good.
When
Yeah,
Haiti's
I-
athletes walked into the stadium, for instance, the on-screen caption described the country as one with an unstable political situation due to the assassination of the president.
Oh, right. And that's not even the best one. So Italy, they showed pizza. Norway, they showed salmon. Haiti,
Okay,
Haiti, they showed upheaval. And then Ukraine, they showed Chernobyl. That's what it was. Chernobyl. Yeah.
This is the equivalent of like when you're at a neighborhood party and people are walking in and there's just somebody like, they're going through a divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like for Syria, there's a caption that was just like 10-year civil war or something like that. Oh my god.
Hey, thanks for coming. This is Charlotte. She gained weight during COVID. Oh,
Try not
thank
to
you.
talk about it.
She'll be
Because-
competing in the pole vault. She doesn't have a shot. Not a shot.
Hey, what's up? This is Armando. He's known for pizza.
Yeah.
Notorious for pizza and upheaval.
No, there'd be a picture of a racist mini lander.
Which, by the
That's
way,
when-
sounds like another good Star Wars character, racist mini lander.
That sounds like a ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
That's
racist
that's a
mini
tattoo
lander.
redo. That's a tattoo redo. Flies around the galaxy in the racist mini lander.
Yeah. That doesn't sound
And it
too
gets a
far off
limited
from-
it gets a limited Dark Horse run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
you
too
know-
far off from Dash Rendar's ship.
What's his ship?
Racist mini
I
lander.
think it's the Outrider.
Outrider.
Or
And it
racist
looks like
Outrider, I don't
shit.
remember.
It looks like shit. It's like this junker.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
just stating
it is the
a
ugliest
fact.
ship in the history of Star Wars, but still,
Yeah,
it's
see-
our ugliest ship.
It may be ugly, but it is very slow.
Justice
Yeah, I've
for Dash.
I've always known James is a big fan of the YT 2400.
I'm a big fan of whatever he said. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
When
thank
we
you.
made the racist mini lander, we wanted to be really true to the Italian people.
We
Or
filled up,
known
we
for
crammed it full of pizza.
Yeah, my favorite
If
part
there's
is
one thing
like, in 5 years, Lego is gonna make a kit and just call it Tattoos Ship.
Nice. We know. Here it comes. Yeah. We have to cut it down. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't have Slave One, they can't have the racist mini lander.
No.
Mhm.
You know, the Irish were
That's
Go on.
my favorite thing about the Irish is how they always love to chime in and say, the Irish used to be, and then say something racist.
You know,
Yes.
the Irish used to be Boba Fett's ship too.
Yeah. Have you seen Cinderella Man? Yeah, the Irish.
Oh,
no more
boy.
dead cops. Now just going on a different-
I've got an additional wholesome story that I picked out in case things got too fucking wild.
Cool.
And this one I pulled out exclusively for Jacob. Jacob, did you hear about the new Tamagotchis?
What? New Tamagotchis?
There's new
I need something to
Tamagotchis
stick my
coming
life
out,
into.
and this time, instead of a virtual animal, you can take care of your very own R2D2.
What?
Yes,
Oh my
sir.
My
God.
own astromech droid just for me?
Am I the only one here old enough to have like actually experienced the Tamagotchi thing when it happened naturally?
I think
So-
like I was young and I don't think I was like smart enough to figure out how to like take care of it and stuff. I would just like push buttons and it wasn't like playing a Game Boy, so I would lose
Yeah.
interest.
It
Here,
sucked.
Cody, I'm gonna send you a picture so that you can put it up. I forgot that I sent Ben Affleck's back. There you go. Oh yeah, you got it.
Oh,
faster.
R2. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah.
That
I
is
never-
kinda neat.
I never got to play with a Tamagotchi, but it was mostly because we couldn't really afford like name brand toys. So everything I got was just like, that's the other thing is I was a master model builder. I didn't play with Legos
Really?
until I worked for them. I played with Mega Blocks and unnamed
Ooh.
colorful building toy number
Connects?
3 or whatever.
Connects hurt
You
my
connects
fingers.
head?
No.
No,
That's
Connect-
too brand
yeah,
that's too
Connects-
brand name for me.
Yeah, Connects were that was like the smart person's
Yeah.
the Mexican of Legos, as it were.
Yeah.
That's my
called
that's
me
where
at
my
work.
mind went. I allowed myself a small joy. I gave myself a little gift without knowing it. Is that I found somewhere in my room. I was looking for a watch, and I found a little Lego R2D2, which was like my favorite, like minifigure type thing as a kid. Because there's nothing like it. The little set with the legs.
Goofy
like
little
that.
legs, yeah.
Mhm.
And I was gonna put it. We have this shelf where there's like a bunch of like Lego sets and stuff in my place, and I was gonna put it there and then forgot. And then hours later, was walking to get coffee, and then dug in my pocket for chapstick and pulled out the little Lego R2D2, and I was like, R2, you came! And it was like this really wonderful little like childlike moment of unbridled joy. I was just like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That happened to me
Hands
when I was
down.
going to Seattle because there was a piece missing from like this Star Wars ship that I built, and I was just like, oh, I lost it in the move or something, because it was just like a little red like soda can looking thing, and then like when I was going through security, it was just in my pocket the whole time. It had been in my shorts pockets for
You just
2
had to
months.
believe.
Yeah,
I know.
That's a much more. When I went to Texas, I accidentally did that, but with weed.
Yeah, we both did that.
And
Yeah.
you're like, you pulled it out of your pocket, you're like, weed.
Yeah,
I
and I
missed
got
you.
caught. I told this story on the RT podcast, but I got caught with weed while in the airport line, and then got to Texas, and then put on pants, reached into the pocket, and found extra bonus weed that I had forgotten I
Wow.
smuggled in.
Oh my
Bonus
god.
weed.
Yeah,
So wait,
and that's and I pulled it out, and I went, "Weed, you came!" And it was
Tattoo we
bad.
do.
I wouldn't let you go to Texas all by your lonesome, would I?
And then it
Oh my
coughs.
god.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah, my favorite part about being in Texas is because I said I was going to Texas, and every friend, family member, and fan that has access to my Instagram hit me up and was like, "So you need weed, or what's up? You good?"
That says more about
Get you
you
anything.
than anything, I think. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. This
that's
band needs
just-
weed.
That's the kind of
We-
person I am.
yeah,
but
yeah. Let's get some names, phone numbers.
yeah, it's Eric Badur.
oh, say no more. Say no
it
more.
Oh
was,
my gosh. Oh my god.
I think he lives at stage 5.
Mhm.
It was Blaine Gibson. I'm just tanking all the people I need taken down at Rooster Teeth.
That's it. Once people find out that you smoke weed, you're done for. Okay,
You're finished.
you
in
are
this tab.
finished.
I'm
Can't
allowed to talk about weed. That was the thing that I had heard, is that one is fine to talk about.
There's none of the others.
None of the others. What
Yeah.
others? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, is
We
that
talked
what
about
it is?
everything, Jacob. We talked about everything. There is
Other
no-
plants, mint,
Other-
lavender, basil.
Yeah, I to answer your question, by the way, or James earlier, is I never got a name brand Tamagotchi. What they bought me instead, what my parents bought me instead, were from it was from a Marshalls. They got me these things, and I can't remember the name of them, but they were called like Cube Men or something. And it was a cube, and there would be a stick figure inside of it, and then you could connect them with other cubes, and then they would fight each other. Or do very silly things. And I remember them being extraordinarily violent. Like they would like shoot each other or like fucking push each other off of the cubes, and you could like combine them in different shapes and they would change the way they interacted with each other. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar. It definitely sounds
Yeah. Sounds like
I
rings
feel
a
like it
bell.
scratches the same itch as when we would go crabbing and put two of them in the same bucket.
When you
It's
would
just
do
a
crab
more-
fights?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. Remember, my uncle's like, check this shit out.
You and
You
Billy
like
Big Hands.
Yeah, and Pete the Fish and all that.
yeah. Denzel Pincer.
Yeah.
Go down the crab fight.
Old Donnie Crab 2 buckets or whatever.
That reminds
yeah.
me of like Texas, where we would put James and Blaine in the same bucket together.
And they would just hang out.
Yeah, we don't fight though. We just chill.
No,
Yeah.
it's much more passive aggressive.
Man, thinking about how long ago, this must have been years ago.
Your
'cause
delts are
I
looking a
haven't
little
done anything.
soft, bro.
Oh, well, you want to fight? I'll beat you in the bucket. But there was it was like at a seafood restaurant, and there was some lobster in there, and they all like had their claws pinched or whatever, and most of them were just held in the corner, but there's this one that was like picking a fight, and I was like, this is how you want to go out. Like this is when you're I mean, the rest of them seem they're like, all right, well, let's just enjoy what few moments we have left before we're thrown in
Right.
boiling water alive. And this one was like, like this is my corner, okay? This is where I'm gonna
back
go.
off.
You want to fight me, bro? You want to fight me?
It reminds me of one of my, like, I think, Charlotte, one of our earliest interactions was you sharing a wonderful video with me of a woman who had
Yes.
bought a bunch of crabs that she wanted to steam at home. And they're all just like a fragile paper bag. So she goes to dump them into the pot and they just scatter all over her kitchen. And they're all like grabbing
It's
like
so
knives and pots
good.
and pans and trying to like pinch her and stuff. And she's just trying
Yeah.
to grab them all and
Yeah,
scoop them
yeah.
into the pot. And
It's
she's very
amazing.
lively.
It's one of my favorite videos because it's handheld and really shoddily recorded, and the quality is extremely low, but you can see everything. Like she has it turned around herself, then she turns it around to the crab, and it catches everything you want to see. Like at one point, one of the crab falls over and she flips it over onto its legs, and she's got tongs and she's trying to grab it, and it just goes, and it like clearly squares up. It's like let's go, motherfucker, and she's just swinging them around. Oh, I gotta show you guys.
I think it's just, I think it's like
Yeah,
just
please
crab
do.
lady. It's sufficient to find them.
Some of Jacob and I's first interactions were very seafood based because there was the one time I was going around the office asking anyone if they wanted to get a whole fish, which, James, I think you might have been there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
we went to
was.
that-
I think I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John and I had gone there before,
Yes.
and they give you like a tilapia, a fried tilapia,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's the whole fish.
It's the whole
And so
fish.
I was so tickled that I went around the office, and instead of saying, "Do you want to go out to dinner?" There's a seafood place that we really like. I was in Slack and in person going, "Does anyone want to get a whole fish with me?"
No.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going down to like the wharf or something and getting a fish. And you're like, this will feed me for longer. My stepdad used to do this thing that I feel like all dads, step or otherwise, do, where they said a thing, it got a laugh once, and then they repeat it every time the joke becomes applicable.
No, my
Which
parents do
arguably is
that
a
every
thing that
time
I
I visit
do.
them.
Was it like tattoo redo?
Yeah. But that's
Still
not,
gets
that's,
me. Still
it's
gets.
not like a callback. It was so my stepdad's favorite restaurant was Red Lobster. He was that, that's like and he thought it was fancy. And that's not to say that it's not, but it's not. And, I don't know. The point is we would go to a Red Lobster every time, and he would do the thing where you point at the lobsters, and because you could pick out which one that you wanted to get or whatever, and he would point at them, and he would ask them, hey, which one of these got the closest to escaping? And every time he would do it, the whoever was seating us would just be like, ha 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 ha, whatever. But I remember one time, and I think it was on his birthday, he pointed at the cage or the glass and went, hey, which one of these got the closest to escaping? Without missing a beat, the guy went, that one, and pointed specifically to one lobster sitting in the corner of the tank with no other lobsters around it.
lifting a dumbbell, smoking a cigarette.
They call me Frank the Fish.
Oh, that's Reese.
Oh, Reese. What a tough name.
Yeah, Reese Witherspoon, they call him.
Because my meat's so
No
good, you're gonna have to
relation.
eat it with a spoon.
I found what must have been this crab video, by the way, Charlotte. And it is remarkable the camera work that this woman is doing while it's 'cause it'll just like It's like a horror movie. It'll just wipe and then it'll show a crab like snap for like 3 times
What?
and then wipe away, like because they
In
only
the
had
off
enough
chance-
CG for a little bit.
In the off chance that it's not the same video, can you send it to me? Just because
Yeah.
A, I want you make sure you see the one I'm talking about, and B, want to see more of these if there
Charlotte
are.
needs to
Well,
verify.
I did find another one when I was looking for this that is it's like 4 crabs in a skillet, and then
That's her.
and then one of the crabs hops out of the skillet while it's on and then turns off the thing to save its friend.
Crabs together, strong.
This is what crabs are actually a lot smarter than we give them credit for. I think they're like fucking octopuses.
Oh, sea creatures are wonderful,
Did
wonderful
you know-
beings.
I should have brought this up earlier since I know we're nearing the end. But do you know that that there's convergent evolution, that things just turn into crabs?
That's the end.
Like,
that's
so
the
many
end point for us?
crustacean species. Like there's a ton of different like lobster-like or other crustaceans or like decapods or fucking whatever. I don't fucking know. But like they all become crabs in the end.
You're saying that that meme
Yeah.
of Elise going, "I am inevitable," just as the
Carcination.
Yeah, that's real.
That's the
scientific
evolutionary
fact.
Yeah,
I was watching
apex.
What's it called?
carcinization.
Carcinization is the convergent evolutionary phenomenon in which all things become crabs.
Crab cycle.
And
There is only one step.
Somebody at Ars Technica asked, that was so bold and brave as to ask, would that happen in space? And so, maybe.
I mean, they're a pretty efficient species when you think about them. Like they kind of have like all that they need and nothing that they don't. You know,
All right.
Everything like
I respect
heading in
crabs.
that direction is so weird. You got like all like what's like the mantis shrimp and stuff that just like punch shit.
Oh
super
yeah, like an
hard.
explosive. Yeah, that's really.
It's like, how do they get to that point after all these years?
My biggest question with this is that does that mean that we were crabs, we moved past it, and all things become human, or will we eventually as humans become crabs? Oh, this is the video.
Oh, crab lady!
we're coming back around. We're definitely
Okay.
gonna turn back
Okay.
into crabs.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Look, that's a survivor right there.
the sound is really great because there's so
God.
many great one-liners. This is like
They
This
fight
is
back.
why I
Yeah.
fucking hate crabs and lobsters because they're just fucking sea spiders.
I mean, that's kind of all. Oh shit!
yeah, and this is the one that goes and it puts its hands up. And they go.
She fucking slapped him.
Well, the whole
Yeah,
time she's just like,
yeah.
accept death, crab.
We should put this link in the show notes.
Oh, absolutely.
we really got to make sure
Yeah.
that people. It's my favorite video.
Yeah,
It's my favorite video, and I'm so glad I showed it to you, Jacob, and forgot immediately.
it's
Oh
my job
God.
to evangelize everybody by showing this crab video. I went to the aquarium in Seattle. It was a little aquarium, but I got to see all sorts of delightful sea critters.
Oh,
And
nice.
there was an adorable otter that I think was very old. It was like a 25-year-old sea otter.
Mhm.
It had a horrific butthole
Oh, beautiful.
that it was just plastering it against the glass. All these kids were watching.
And you're like, I see a lot more than otter.
Yeah. Normally,
I
you gotta
see-
I
subscribe to-
see
It looked like
inner.
a s- it looked like a sea anemone.
Normally, you gotta subscribe to Otter fans for that, dude. That's really good.
All right.
That's your
I'm-
redo.
That's the talk of a man who's going to be a crab someday.
Well, as with all things, this podcast eventually became a crab. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and thank you for joining me, Jacob, James, and Charlotte. I'm Armando Torres. Thank you for listening to the Funhaus podcast. Have a great day and become a crab.
Thank you for watching.